Welcome to the JAMODI podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. How do you use social media to enhance your program?
Man, that's come so far in the last few years. It's huge. It's huge with our kids. We try to celebrate our kids as much as we can. We celebrate when they get offers to go to college offers. Certainly when they, signing day or when they commit. We have an SID at JP2. He's one of our assistant football coaches. He's full-time SID. He does a fantastic job with all of our athletic social media.
Wow.
And then we have our own basketball Twitter that's specifically for basketball. And, we try to keep up with scores, and every game we'll post and where's our next game and all the general information. But I try to put in different things too to celebrate the kids. When we set team shooting drill records or individual, I'm going to put it on our Twitter and tag that kid and make him feel special and let everybody see what he's doing. So we definitely try to do that, but we have also been getting outside people, and I'm trying my best to use them, videographers, guys that go to the games, that cover, put them on Twitter, Instagram, what have you. I always get them in free if they ever ask. I've had a couple of guys, hey, can I come do some of your practice time and put it on? Absolutely. Just go over a few points with them that I want to make sure that they're aware of when they come in.
Yeah.
Any exposure we can get, kids love it. And I want kids to get that exposure, and I want kids to want to come play at John Paul. And that's a big part of it. I've had that comment from some families that my son's school doesn't do anything for my son. And we see what you do. We love that. Last year I had a young man that has his own company ask if he did a YouTube thing, day in the life of a baller, and he wanted to do it on Manny Obaseki. And he was like, kid's only like 19 years old. So he called me, can I come to a practice? I said, absolutely. Saturday morning, we're having a shoot. Come on. And he videoed the whole practice, but he had also done some shots of Manny at home and at school and different things, and put together a 20-minute piece. It was really nice, but it featured our team. It showed us some of our highlights of our game against, I know your friend Jeff over at Prestonwood. We were playing them that night. And so he was over there covering the game and got some of those clips in. So I'm never going to say no to somebody that wants to cover our team, as long as they follow some basic parameters and, do it the right way. I do a little background work, do my homework, but a lot of coaches are uncomfortable with people coming to their practice. I embrace it. Come on, any publicity is pretty much good publicity for us.
And I think you're right on the money with all of that, and just want to celebrate you for kind of that attitude that you've chosen to take towards social media, especially with your program. I can't remember the guy that I was listening to, but it was probably 10, 12 years ago. It was a podcast, and he just said if coaches aren't using, either directly or indirectly, maybe through a team thing, if they're not using social media to celebrate and enhance their program, then they're behind. Right. And I'm probably a lot like you. I don't like to ever think or hear that I'm behind in something. Right. And so it kind of, I don't think you can really go too much, especially when your heart's in the right place. Right. And you're trying to celebrate the guys. Question for you is, especially because of the caliber of players that you have, do you ever have to worry about the balance between that individual attention that you're giving and the team dynamic success? Any friction with that ever with posting things?
You definitely have to be cognizant of it. And, we're always going to celebrate the team first and foremost. But I talk to the guys constantly about, hey, we celebrate each other's accomplishments. And I'm not going to slow down on celebrating one kid just to not hurt someone else's feelings.
Yep.
We should all be happy for each other. And the more we achieve individually, the more we're going to achieve as a team. But that is definitely something you got to be aware of. I only have 2 team rules, and one of them is the team always comes first. And it's real simple. I'm not going to give you a list of 30 team rules. That's overkill. The team always comes first. So we promote that, we push that. And I think it's gone pretty well for the most part. You always got to make sure you're trying to give everybody some shine and some love, and I don't ever want to miss out on any opportunities to do that. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty cognizant of it and try to stay on top of making sure I'm recognizing as many guys as I can.
I think it's important when it comes from you that that's the message. And I can remember I have a very similar talk with guys about the way that our team is going to use social media, and even after losses, how we're going to have a game breakdown and how it's going to be the top three scorers. We're not happy with the loss, but we're not going to stop celebrating the good things that happen even within games, because we all know as coaches, just because your team loses doesn't mean it was all negative. There
That's
can
right.
be good things out of it.
I
But we
love
had
what
a
you guys do. Do you have a student do that? Who does your graphics after the game? I've seen those the last week or so, and they're
oh,
outstanding.
thanks, man. That I do it on Photoshop. But I have to give a shout out to two people. The Midland Christian assistant Trent, like he's the one that sent me some of those the PSDs, the little files. Our girls coach at school, Hannah St. Pierre, she's phenomenal. So I'm really good at taking something that someone else has created, and I can change it and do it. But I'm right along with you. I think that stuff is important, and even if a player doesn't come up and say, "Hey, coach, thank you for that," I know that they're seeing it. I know that their families are seeing it, and I think what you said. I mean, if any coach is on the fence about, I don't know if we should do it or not, you have parents from other schools saying, "Hey, our school doesn't do that. We notice what you guys do."
Yep.
And all it takes, that's what I tell anybody, all it takes is my time. That's all it takes is my time, and I'm
What's the
happy to do
downside?
that.
I don't see a downside.
Yeah,
You're right. Other than a little bit of effort.
yeah. I had a kid get nominated for Player of the Week, and for our school, that was in our program, it was a really big thing. And but I love that we were in a circle, we're celebrating him, the fact that his name and Grapevine Faith is there, and I had another player step up and say, "Hey guys, just remember this too, like awesome for him." But that's all of us right there.
Right.
And man, like I kind of got chills like listening to that, and he was right on the money. So a great there, it's definitely possible to
Hey,
celebrate individuals, and alongside of it comes your program with it.
that's right. And we're getting our name. We're private schools. Even outside of basketball, we want students to come to our school. Right? So that marketing is really valuable
Yeah.
that we do for our schools and our programs.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.